On the news tonight, Governor Soludo restates commitments towards accelerating industrial technological development in Anambra State. Anambra State's Execution Council approves establishment of Bureau of Missing Persons. Federal government inaugurates steering committee on implementation of food system transformation pathway. Japan activates missile interceptors to tackle North Korea's threat. Before the news in detail, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let us give him maximum support for the task ahead. Good evening and glad to have you join us on the news tonight. My name is Maureen Stone Enujoke. Governor Chukwuma Soludo says his administration's major objective is to transform Anambra from a state with a largely informal economy into a hub for industry, technology, and leisure. Governor Soludo, who stated this during a town hall meeting with members of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, MAN, at the Harbour Industrial Layout Onitsha, disclosed that Anambra industrial policy will soon be implemented. Government House correspondent Valentine Mbaduga filed the report taken from here.
Be able to serve the hub of the state.
Governor Soludo, who described manufacturing and industrialization as the main focus towards making Anambra State prosperous, assured of his commitment to promoting the ease of doing business in the state and expressed his readiness to partner Manufacturers Association of Nigeria and the organized private sector in achieving a sustainable development.
We are grooming the new entrepreneurs, the new millionaires and billionaires of the future. Let's work together. Let's get our people all over. In the Anambra, if every Anambra person anywhere in the world can just pay two things, 25 to 50% of your investment in Anambra, and you pay 25 to 50% of the tax that you pay elsewhere, in 5-10 years, Anambra would not be recognized. So I say to you, you have a role to play.
The president of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Mr. Otumba Francis Meshioye, said that Manufacturers Association of Nigeria exists to help deepen the relationship between manufacturers and the government and commended the dedication of the members in sustaining their business in the face of dwindling economy. He thanked Governor Soludo for making the environment friendly for manufacturers and assured him of their continuous support.
The function of MAN is that of deepening the relationship between the government and private sector and manufacturers in particular. As all agree, manufacturing business is a business that is very pivotal to growth of any economy. It is not only in creating jobs, but even assisting in ensuring that we limit our needs for forex and also provide opportunity to earn more currency.
In an address, the chairman, Manufacturers Association of Nigeria for Anambra, Enugu, and Ebonyi State, Lady Ada Chukwudozie, who stressed the need for serious attention to be paid to the manufacturing sector, stated some challenges being faced by manufacturers and the need for a lasting solution to be profiled. Lady Ada emphasized the need to support the existing industrial clusters and commended Governor Soludo for his commitment towards encouraging productivity in the state through strategic efforts to improve power supply and providing durable road infrastructure, among others. She urged the state government to do more in checking touting and also involve the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria in decision-making concerning manufacturing and industrialization.
It is said that for every 1 naira input into the manufacturing of a product, another 1 naira is made or added to the economy. And for every job created through manufacturing, 3 other new jobs are created in the other sectors of the economy. Therefore, serious attention should be paid to manufacturers because they are the most credible and bankable members of the organized private sector.
The event attracted critical stakeholders in the manufacturing sector and top government functionaries, including the Speaker, Anambra State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Uche Okafor, the Deputy Speaker, Dr. Pascal Abodike, the representative of Anambra South Senatorial District at the National Assembly, Dr. Ifeanyi Uba, and industrialist Sir Daniel Chukwudozie, traditional ruler of Onitsha, Obi Alfred Achebe, amongst others. Governor Soludo later inaugurated the Zonal Liaison Office for the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria for use.
For the glory of God.
Governor Chukwuma Soludo has approved the appointment of Mr. Christian Udechukwu as the new Commissioner for Industry. Mr. Udechukwu replaces Mr. Obinna Ngonadi, who previously held forth in that position. A release signed by the press secretary to the governor, Mr. Christian Aburume, said following the new appointment, Mr. Christian Chukwudozie Udechukwu's name has been forwarded to the State House of Assembly for confirmation. Anambra State Executive Council has approved the creation of a Bureau for Missing Persons in the Ministry of Justice. According to a release signed by the State Commissioner for Information, Sir Paul Nwosu, the establishment of the Bureau is part of the interim recommendation earlier made by the Truth, Justice and Peace Commission in its inception report earlier submitted to Governor Chukwuma Soludo State in February. We have the details.
The release explained that the job of the Bureau is to trace cases of missing persons and generate the needed database to support police investigations and eventual prosecution for suspects by the Ministry of Justice. It recalled that on the 23rd of June 2022, Governor Soludo, pursuant to the Commission of Inquiry Law of Anambra State, inaugurated the Truth, Justice and Peace Commission, which has Professor Chidi Anselm Odenkalo as the chairman, Ambassador Bianca Odumegwu Ojukwu as the secretary, and Professor Sylvia Chike Ifemeje as one of its commissioners. The release added that Commission's inception report also recommended a government strategy that locates atrocity and violence within a public health framework, professionalization and effective coordination of vigilante services in the state, institutionalizing deliverables for the Ministry of Security and Homeland Affairs, establishing an Anambra Integrated Civic Surveillance System, and Anambra State Safety and Environmental Commission. It noted that the Commission's initial terms of reference included to identify the remote and immediate cause of the agitations, restiveness, violence, and armed struggle in the Southeast since 1999, to document victims and circumstances of death, brutality, and incarceration, as well as identify stakeholders and groups who have played critical roles in agitations and conflicts, their roles, capabilities and demands, address any other issue that may germane to unraveling the extent of the crisis and charting the roadmap for the future, and make recommendations for sustainable peace and security in Anambra State and Southeast.
The Speaker of Anambra State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Uche Okafor, has assured that the state legislature will continue to support all efforts to promote harmonious coexistence among different tribes in the country. In his goodwill message to Muslims as they celebrate the feast of Eid al-Fitr, Right Honorable Okafor urged them to pursue peace at all times and shun acts capable of disuniting the country. The Speaker, who commended Governor Chukwuma Soludo for providing an enabling environment for Muslims in the state to propagate their faith and also earn their living, enjoined them to reciprocate the gesture by giving maximum support to the Soludo administration. He called for intensive prayers from the Muslim and Christian faithful for the peace and progress of the country, stressing the need for even distribution of democracy dividends and appointments among the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. The state #1 lawmaker appealed to Muslims to join hands in fighting insecurity and other challenges confronting the country. The Minister of State for Budget and National Planning, Clem Abba, has disclosed the federal government commenced some priority actions in 2022 in order to make food systems more sustainable. He disclosed this in Abuja during the inauguration of a 20-man steering committee on state implementation of the food system transformation pathway in Nigeria. According to the minister, the priority actions include disseminating information about weather patterns and soil properties and best practices for crops, livestock, aquaculture, and poultry production. It also includes states establishing farm settlements, estates with all basic amenities to discourage rural to urban migration and the promotion of Operation Feed the South. The minister noted that the journey for transforming the food system started in 2020 with a call by the Secretary General of the United Nations, Mr. Antonio Guterres, that countries should take proactive measures to make their food systems more sustainable and resilient. He noted that the steering committee would meet at least once in every quarter, either physically or virtually, as may be agreed by members and the chairpersons. Japan has activated missiles interceptors and is preparing to shoot down any fragments from a North Korean satellite that may fall on Japanese territory. Defense Minister Yasukazu Hamada instructed troops to ready Pak 3 surface-to-air missiles in southwestern Japan, including Okinawa and nearby islands, in an area believed to be under a flight path of a North Korean rocket that will carry the satellite. He also ordered the deployment of destroyers equipped with SM-3 ship-to-air missiles to coastal waters, according to a ministry statement. Hamada instructed troops to implement measures necessary to limit damage in the event of a ballistic missile falling. An order to fire missiles has to be approved by the Prime Minister. North Korea's leader, Kim Jong-un, said earlier this week its first military spy satellite will be launched on an unspecified date. Nigeria's Flying Eagles have been drawn with Brazil, Italy, and Dominican Republic in Group D at the 2023 FIFA Under-20 World Cup in Argentina. The draw for this year's tournament was held on Friday, 21st of April in Zurich, Switzerland. The Flying Eagles will open their campaigns at the tournament against the Dominican Republic on May 21 before facing Italy on May 24. They will end the group phase against five-time winners of the FIFA Under-20 World Cup on May 27. Senegal, who won the 2023 Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations in Egypt, is in Group C with Japan, Israel, and Colombia. Tunisia are drawn with Uruguay, Iraq, and England in Group E, while Africa's other representative, Gambia, will face France, South Korea, and Honduras in Group F. The top two teams of each group and the four best third-placed teams will advance to the round of 16. The tournament will kick off on 20th of May, and the final will take place on 11th of June 2023. Funeral mass has been held in honor of Madam Margaret Kemdelim of Ameze Village, Mbako, Oka North Council area of Anambra State. Madam Margaret, before her death, was a member of Women's Guild. Justice Onyemobi filed the report taken from here.
In a homily, the vicar of St. Stephen Parish in Mbako and Archdeacon Mbako Archdeaconry, Venerable Jason Onyaka Abose, described late Madam Nkemdelim as one who maintained consistent faith in the Lord and charged the children not to depart from the legacy that their mother left for them.
So in the ocha na Chineke the note. Ika bunwa na di ocha. Ika bunwa yu bie di ocha.
While testifying on the life of late Madam Nkemdelim, Mrs. Teresa Udozo narrated how she became friends with her, noting that she was a woman that loved neatness and that she is going to miss her. In their separate reactions, the first son of the deceased, Mr. Chibuzo, the second son, Mr. Arinze, and one of the daughters-in-law, Mrs. Faith Arinze, thanked God for the kind of life their mother lived, adding that they learned a lot from her, especially on upholding religious values, self-discipline, and neatness, promising to follow her footsteps in all areas of life, and appreciated their friends who made out time to be with them.
It's a loss I cannot be able to repair. Forever, I will continue to mourn her. But I will try to do something positive in order to legalize her name. Let her be remembered as a legend of our time, particularly in this community.
Dignitaries from Mbako, business moguls from within and outside Anambra State, especially from Lagos, attended the event. Special prayers for the family, offering condolence visits by friends and well-wishers, and performances by Women's Guild Group from St. Stephen's Anglican Church, Mbako, featured at the event.
Remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from many parts of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television Oka, subscribe to our YouTube page at ABS Television Oka, and follow us on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. Log on to our website www.absradiotv.com. And now a recap of the main points before we go. Governor Soludo has restated commitments towards accelerating industrial technological development in Anambra State. Anambra State Execution Council has approved establishment of Bureau of Missing Persons. Federal government has inaugurated steering committee on implementation of food systems transformation pathway. And from the foreign scene, Japan has activated missile interceptors to tackle North Korea's threat. And here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let us give him maximum support for the task ahead. And that does it on the news for tonight. Thank you so very immensely for watching. My name is Maureen Stone Enijuke. Good night and stay blessed.